doing the Fire King Kozmo deck profile. So this one I stated that would be a little bit different from the pure Kozmo build, but I figure with Fire Kings you could definitely make a lot of different combos with this particular deck here. So without further ado, let's just get started. So one Eclipser, that's all we need. I mean, it's the one that searches when being destroyed, so I don't really see a need to play multiple copies of it. Besides, we already are given 3 copies of Dark Destroyer, and I think that's definitely a wonderful gift for Kozmos, and we shouldn't take it for granted. It's a really amazing card, definitely really fixes up the deck quite a bit. We're also playing the 1 copy of Forerunner because, again, I did state that in the previous deck profile I wanted to play multiple copies of or rather at least 1 copy of every card from a different level. So yeah, instead of the Landwalkers, we are playing 2 copies of the Dogfighters. I feel like this is a little bit different for the deck, and it allows for more different combos as well. The fact that it generates tokens for your Viking Island to actually destroy as part of fodder is definitely a very nifty effect. We also have Dark Lady, of course. Again, I tried to fit in 2, but I just can't. However, we are playing the 2 Slip Riders as well as the Delta Shuttle. I feel like this is definitely a really nice one. Delta Shuttle is really relevant for this in the case that you could actually do quite a bit of things as well. But moving on, we are playing Wicked Witch as well. So this is a level 4, and I just think it's a lot better than Good Witch. We're also playing the 1 Farm Girl. I try to fit in more, but I want to make room specifically for Saw Troopers. Saw Troopers is just a really amazing card. Allows you to actually combo off with this deck here. We're also playing 2 copies of Strawman, of course, and then to end things off, we are playing 3 copies of Tin Can. However, I do want to mention that we are going to be playing the 1 copy of the Fire King Avatar. This is just a Fire King monster that we could add with the Fire King Island. However, if you guys want to play the Baby Garunix, then feel free to actually play that instead. In fact, I would actually recommend you go into that rather than this. But I'm just playing this because I have this one and I don't have the other one. So it's completely up to you. You could play whatever Fire King monster you want, but play at least one of them. But that's pretty much it for the monsters. Let's move on to spells. Alright, so onto the spells. Obviously, we're going to be playing 3 copies of the Kozmo Town. Definitely a very necessary card for the deck. However, we are starting to incorporate different things, and that is the Fire King Island. Fire King Island's just a really amazing card. If you guys don't know what it does, during your main phase, you could actually destroy 1 monster in your hand or you control, and then add a Fire King monster from your deck to your hand. As you can tell by that, that 1 effect alone allows you to start off a lot of combos, because you could destroy the Kozmo monsters or the Kozmo ships that are already in your hand. As a result, they actually trigger off so that you could float into your monsters right away, and at the same time you're also adding in your Fire King monster as well from your deck to your hand. Just a really nice card, and if this card does get destroyed from the field zone, you also get to blow up your own field, and as a result of that, you will actually float into more things as well, triggering off different kinds of effects. So Fire King Island, definitely a very nice addition to the deck here. Which means we're also playing the set rotation. I feel like sometimes you just got to give your opponent the Fire King Island. You know, you also got to give your opponent sometimes Kozmo Town as well. They might not activate it, but if you can block your opponent off from actually being able to play any field spells, I think that's okay as well. It's not really a detriment to us, because this is mainly just an additional engine to the deck. It's not meant to be a full focus here, but at the same time we could switch either way throughout the entire game, and set rotation just does the job there. Also allows you to access these a lot quicker and deck thin as well. For draw power, we're playing Allure of Darkness, just 2 copies. I don't think we need to play that many more. We are playing the E-Telly because obviously it brings out your pilots. The reasoning, there is no way your opponent can guess on the very first guess, so as a result, you have a bunch of different levels. Just consider a free summon with reasoning here. Of course, we are still playing the 2 copies of Limiter Removal, just because it helps with OTK potential here, and yeah, it's definitely really nice. I've once doubled up Cosmo Dark Destroyer's attack twice because I had 2 limiter removals in the hand, so it was definitely really nice finishing my opponent off with that. Also playing 3 copies of Called by the Grave. Again, we're going to stop our opponent's hand traps. As you can tell, we're not playing any hand traps in this deck, but we still want to stop our opponents. To end things off with spells, we're playing 1 for 1, just to go into your tin can, like I said before in the previous deck profile. As for traps, very small lineup here. 2 Kozmo, again, it's searchable already, so there's no need to actually play 3 anymore. Besides, you have to set it anyway, so it's a little slow to play traps like this in this particular format. Playing 2 Call of the Haunted because if you have any in the graveyard, then you could also chain to it, and again, you get off a bunch of effects you could actually see right there. Anyway, we also have Full Force Virus, so I decided to actually go for the Full Force Virus simply because we're playing the dog fighters that generates the token. As a result, the tokens can actually be used by Full Force Virus to actually just destroy your opponent's hand with all their monsters. So I definitely prefer this over the Eradicator in this particular build here, simply because you have different monsters and different resources to play around with. Alright, so onto the extra deck, really similar to the last time actually. I think it's the exact same, Wee Witch again. Again, I mentioned that you could play Lanfarinkus if you prefer, but Wee Witch is going to help with the dark monsters. The Topologic because you can combo off with a lot of things. Link Rebo for your tin can as a late game option. The Clifford Genius because, again, it requires 2 machines. Gaia Saber, again, just 2 machines, but not as big, and it's really just a vanilla in the deck, but it has 2600 beat stick there. Playing the Gaia Dragon, of course, and the Cyber Dragon engine as well. For rank 5s, we're just playing Tiras, Durandal, Shark Fortress, Pleiades, Volcasaurus, Adrius, and of course the Garchi for your rank 2 options, which is really just the 2 strawmans. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck. However, I do want to quickly mention something with this particular deck and how it's made, because I won't be making a combo video for this, nor will I actually make a test hand video. In fact, I think I could do a test hand video right now to just demonstrate you what you could actually do with an opening hand here. So let's just quickly shuffle this up and I'll show you a test hand. Alright, so here's a quick test hand here just to show what we could potentially draw into. As you can see, there's definitely a lot of different options. However, as you can see, we could just go with the emergency teleport. Most of the time, the combos do just start off with the basic tin can right here. So obviously, we just search out the tin can. And what's great about tin can right now is that you could actually before that, we could actually just normal summon either Farm Girl or Strawman. I'm going to summon out Farm Girl. And during the end phase, Tin Can will still activate. You can choose which one's first, Emergency Teleport or Tin Can. But obviously, you're going to choose one of the Dark Destroyers. You're going to choose a Dog Fighter and probably choose a Forerunner here. So, oops. So you randomly just pick one of these, obviously, and the rest gets sent to the graveyard. So let's assume we get the worst one out of them, and we just get like a dog fighter or something like that, and these 2 go to the graveyard. Now you actually have the resources for the Dark Eclipser, and at the end phase as well, you can quickly chain off the tin can, banish it, so that you could just summon the dogfight out as well. So now, during your opponent's turn, during their standby phase, you get a dogfighter token, and you could also get out of Farm Girl as well, and go into either Slip Rider to destroy one of your opponent's spells and traps, or you could go for the Dark Eclipser, which can negate traps, and yeah, it's just really nice. You already got the resources right there in the graveyard, and on top of that, Dark Eclipser can't be targeted, so you got a really nice thing going on there on the field. Alright, so a quick thing I actually wanted to talk about here about this particular deck is that I'm playing the 2 Sword Troopers, and you guys wanted to know, I don't think I can show you in a combo specifically on this, but it's just something you should actually know about the Sword Troopers and what you could potentially do here. So let me just go ahead and get the other one. Where is it? There we go. So we have 2 Sword Troopers. There's a specific loop that you can actually go with this. I'm sure any of you who actually play Kozmos already know about it. And I'm just going to show you right here. But basically, with the 2 Sword Troopers, you could have a Delta Shuttle on board like so with this Sword Troopers. And Delta Shuttle can then target either your own monsters or your opponent's monsters, and then you could ditch the second Sword Troopers to the graveyard. So then the first Sword Troopers can actually pay 1,000, bring back this Sword Troopers, and then you can take the Sword Trooper that already used its effect with the Delta Shuttle and link away into like some kind of link too. In this case, they're both dark monsters, so you could actually just link into your Wee Witch. From there, your second Sword Troopers can then bring back this Sword Troopers, and now you take the one that you just used with the Wee Witch's Apprentice, and then you could go for a link 3, in which case we have the generic Gaia Saber right here. Then we could use Sword Troopers again to bring back this, and I'm pretty sure you could see how we're going now. It allows for link climbing, and eventually we get out the Topologic Bomber. Now what's also amazing is you could do it one more time, bring back this Sword Troopers right underneath the Bomber Dragon. In effect, its effect will activate, and then these two will pretty much blow up, as well as your opponent's field. So you have a 3k direct attack onto your opponent. So definitely really nice there. And it's just quite amazing to see how we go. But of course, you could combo off so much more with just the Sword Troopers alone. For example, you could bring it back so that it doesn't point underneath any of Bomber's link markers. And then you could just banish both of these to bring out your bigger ships right underneath these markers. Bomber will then destroy your field. As a result, those ships will float into smaller ships. Just make sure that you don't put them right underneath these markers, but then your opponent has a wide open field. So potentially, let's say that you brought out 2 Dark Destroyers. Let's see, where is it? You got 2 Dark Destroyers off the Sword Troopers, and then Bomber's effect activates, destroying both of the Dark Destroyers. As a result, your opponent's field is now wide open, and you could banish off both of the Dark Destroyers and then get their effects off. So you just go for your highest attack ones. As a result, you got the Forerunner here, and you also maybe have, I would say bring out like a Slip Rider if your opponent has a Spell Trap, or a Dark Lady if your opponent might have a monster effect, but I'm just going to bring out whatever has the higher attack. But basically, just don't bring them out underneath the zones of these, of Topologic Bomber, and put it on the other side here, but you basically get direct attacks like this, so it's definitely just really nice here. But yeah, that's pretty much it for a quick demonstration of a test hand, as well as what you could potentially do with Sword Troopers and the Delta Shuttle as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I won't be making a combo video because it's more so you'll know what to do if you are a true Kozmo player, and I also just explained why with these 2 Sword Troopers as well. As for test hands, there's not much I can really demonstrate, as you can see with that particular test hand. So yeah, hopefully you guys actually enjoyed this particular deck profile while testing it out. It's something that I definitely like playing because of the combos that you could actually do with the Sword Troopers right here. But in the meantime, hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time.